Well, this is Linda with Linda Sue Plants for You, and I'm back again. This video, I decided to share one of my repotting projects with you. It's going to be a bit difficult, I think, but it's needed to be done for a while. As you can see, this is my string of pearls, one of them. And I've had her in this vase for a very long time. And I loved the look of it. So rather than put her in a hanging pot, for which I don't have a lot of room for anyway, I decided to put her in a bigger vase. And one of the things that I'm concerned about, for those of you that have had this shape of a vessel before, you will know that these are sometimes difficult to get the plant out because of the shape of it, you know, getting down and in. I don't think this will be too hard just because the lip on the top is so short, but we'll see when we start getting at it. As you can see, there are a couple of dried up stems on here that I will be cutting off later. This is a difficult plant to work with because it's very sticky and these things get tangled very easily. So I don't know what kind of mess I'm in for here, but it's something I've been, like I said, I've been putting it off, and it really needs to be done. So I'm going to try and attempt to do this on camera here and hope that I have success. One of the things I want to point out is this is quite a bit bigger than the vase that it's in. And I've already filled the dirt up to about here. And that will then speak to the issue of watering, which is I'm going to have to be very careful because obviously the roots on this plant are not going to be anywhere near big enough to fill up this vase. So what happens then is the moisture stays wet if I get it too wet. I want to make sure when I water that I just put enough in for the roots to drink and then the rest to dry up. And that's what I've been doing with this one. So, I mean, this started out with a couple little pieces hanging over the edge, and as you can see, it grew into a big beautiful plant, and it did fine. So being careful with my watering is going to be the key here, the issue. And but I think we can overcome that. So I'm going to try, I'm not going to try and untangle this right now. I'm going to get it in here because it's probably just going to get tangled up again anyways. And I want to make sure that I don't want to make a 2-hour video here, so I'm almost thinking I need a little more dirt in here. I don't want this to go down too far. I'm going to just try and loosen this up a little bit around the inside of the pot. Very carefully. Hopefully I'm not cutting the roots. It doesn't feel like I am. This actually feels like it's going to come out very easily. Oh, that would be so nice. And I'm losing a few beads here. And part of that is because it needs watering. And I've noticed that with my burro's tail as well. When that plant needs water, that's when you'll lose the foliage when you bump it. I'm not sure why that is. I can't really come up with a logical reason either, so there probably is a scientific explanation, but I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm just trying to, as I said, I'm trying to loosen this up down there. I got one strand here that grew into the little decoration on the side. Oh, and that's not coming off without wrecking it, so I'm just going to cut that off. This grew down into the little handle here. I tried to pull it out, but then it pulled the pearls off, so. Alright. This would probably work better with 2 people, but I don't have anyone here right now that can help me, so. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? My goodness, I'm even shocked at that, folks. Look at the root system right here. That little root system was sustaining this whole plant. Is that unbelievable? So now I'm gonna have to rethink this. I'm not sure if this is a good idea to put this in there or not. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am going to stop this video and set this back in here for now. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I have a really unique lamp that my husband brought home from somewhere. He's always bringing me presents home and surprises, and he brought one home, and it's not something that I would normally use in my house, like to use for a lamp. It's way too contemporary, but it's got a really unique shape, and I thought about using that for this, but the stem of it is so thin and the top of it is very small. So based on the fact that this was in this vessel, I assumed these roots were at least down to here, and I assumed wrongly. But because of what I found, I'm thinking this might just work in that lamp. And because it's getting late in the day, I'm going to wait for hubby to get home and see if he can't help me with that. I've got to pull the light fixture, the electrical part out, and under normal circumstances I could do that myself probably with the pliers, but I can't because of my injuries to my arms, so I can't. I'm very limited as to what I can and can't do, and as frustrating as that is, it's okay. I'm doing what I can. So we're going to wait for hubby to get home. I'm going to see if he can't pull that out of there, and maybe I can shove like a water bottle or something down in the top of that lamp and put this in there the way I wanted it to. It's very tall, and I could picture this hanging down, you know, cascading down around this lamp. And like I said, the base of it is very small, so it wouldn't take up much room. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pause my camera and let's see what happens this afternoon. I will be back. And I'm back. Okay, so this is the lamp that I was talking about. And I'm going to be putting my string of pearls into this top of this lamp so that they can cascade down over the top and over the side. I cannot wait until this grows. And if you can just picture this, if there's enough room in that top to sustain what I'm trying to do, and I'm not sure there is because it's not that big, but after looking at the small ball of roots that was on there after I pulled it out of the vessel that it was in, I think we have a chance here. So I'm going to try it. This was a lamp. My hubby took the innards out of it for me, and see if I can get into the top so you can see. And that's where the bulb was, obviously. And I put a small plastic pot in there that just fit to hold any excess water that might drip out of the container that I'm going to put it in. And that is right here. Now, you'll notice that I have this upside down. And the reason being is I wanted to finish this yesterday, but by the time my husband got home from work and was able to fix the lamp for me, it was just way too late for me to do anything. So I covered it up so it didn't dry out, and now I'm going to put that plant in that little ceramic or porcelain container, and then I'm going to set it in that top of that lamp, and we'll see how this goes. So bear with me for a moment while I get my camera on my tripod. Okay, now hopefully you can get a good view of this. This is quite a small dish, as you can see, and my husband did drill a drain hole in here. Oh gosh, that had to be a year ago already when I was using it for something else. And by the way, you can drill a hole in anything, even glass, if you use a diamond drill bit and a little water. That's the key to not breaking the thing that you're putting the hole in. So in case anyone was wondering about that. Alright, I'm going to just put a little bit of soil in the bottom here. Now, remember when I took this out of here, it had this ever so small root ball. I mean, I can't even call that a root ball. It's amazing to me how much growth this plant had, considering the little bit of roots that are on here. Okay, I'm gonna just try and get this in here quickly because it's now, ooh, I don't like the way this is working here. I'm very worried that I'm not going to get all the roots in there. But I think what I'm going to do here is water this and let it sit for a little while and absorb the water and maybe secure the roots a little better before I start messing with it. I'm already feeling a little uncomfortable. I'm a little worried here that I'm going to lose some of the plant, but you know, it happens sometimes, and we just got to move on. I guess the part that, if I have any regrets right now about repotting this, is that it really didn't need it, and I had no idea. I mean, the size that this was in, it could have probably stayed in there forever. So, but we pulled it out and we want something new and different, and it'll grow back. This won't be the first time that this plant has been brought back to life, so let's see what happens. I do have another string of pearls in my living room that I have in a vase similar to these two that I had here. Similar shape, but it's made out of terracotta, and that one is just fine. My string of pearls are almost all the way down to the floor, and the top of that soil is probably nose height to me, maybe eye height, and I'm 5'4", so that one's working fine, and I'm probably never going to repot that one because based on what I'm finding here, that one's got years before it's going to fill up the root system, or the soil in that vessel. So I guess I won't worry about that. Alright, I'm going to take another break here and get some water in here and let it sit for a little bit. That will also help these from falling off. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back in a little while, and I'm going to try and get this into that top of that lamp. And I will bring that back to you once I have it in there. So stand by. Okay, y'all. Here's what I'm gonna do. I let this sit for a little while, as I said I was going to, and let it absorb the water. And I was going to shove the whole thing here into my new holder, vessel, plant stand, whatever you want to call it. And I realized, because it's as tall as me, and I'm not very tall, I'm kind of short stuff. I was 5'4", and I'm shrinking. I think last time they measured me I was 5'3½", so we really do shrink when we get older. But anyway, so my stand is above my head, and so I'm not going to be able to get up in there without holding my arms up over my head to untangle this mess. And as I said earlier, these are very hard to untangle because they're like Velcro. Even when you touch them, they're sticky to the touch. So they stick together and they break apart real easy. So I decided to get myself a fresh hot cup of coffee and make myself comfy in my living room. Excuse me. And I'm going to watch my friend Helen Wyatt from Georgia. She's a sweet old 83-year-old lady, and I'll tell you, if you got high blood pressure, or you just need some sweet happiness in your life, she's the one to bring it to you. She's just a very nice lady, and I've been, my sister-in-law told me about her quite a while ago, and I watch her on and off. I can't watch her every day because her videos are very long, and I have things I have to do, but I am going to watch her today while I do this untangling, and I think that'll help keep me from getting frustrated while I'm doing it. So I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to come back and show you the finished product. But I wanted to show you a little bit of this and how tangled it is, even though I was very careful in not doing that, you know, trying to not get it tangled in the first place. It did get tangled, and they're just, some of these are going to break. I already know before I even start this project that I'm going to have some fallout, and I'm okay with that. I mean, obviously I would rather I didn't, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it because I know that the plant is going to be okay. And when I get the little pieces, I'm just going to set them aside until I'm done. And then I'm going to set all these in yet another little planter, and I'm quite sure I will get another plant out of this. So that's my plan. So I'm going to go finish this, and when I have it all done, I will bring back the final product. Look it. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, there's quite a few wrapped up in just this one. Ooh, that one came off pretty easy, but yeah, this is going to take a while. Alright, well, I will be back in a little while. Okay, and for the final chapter, there she is. She is in her new home for now. I'm going to show you a close-up of this in a moment. But I wanted you to see the whole space where she's going to live. Yeah, I still have a lot of work to do on that table and the one next to it, and so we'll just ignore that for now and just concentrate on what I do have done. So here we are. There's my philodendron McCullough that I got from Suzette's Gardens. There are 2 leaves on there with a new shoot coming up, but it's struggling. I'm not sure why. I think maybe it doesn't have enough roots on it. There were a lot of roots when she sent it, but this is one of the plants that got stuck in the mail for a long time, and I think that's what happened. But there is a new shoot coming up there, so she's getting there. And then this crazy guy here, gonna have to address that. I'm gonna have to do something with this pretty soon. But you can see how crazy it is. Okay. Now for the star of the show. Here she is. Here's the stand. And remember, this is an old lamp stand. I'm guessing it's probably from the 50s. In the Art Deco look, which is not normally my style, and it still is not, but when I saw it, when he brought it home, I thought that would make a really cool plant stand for my pearls. So that's what we did. I did spend quite a bit of time separating all these strands, even though it doesn't look like it. They are separated, but because of the way this is fluted at the top, it kind of pushes them back together. So they're going to end up in bunches, and I didn't realize that when I was planning this, but that's okay too. So there she is, the finished product. Now, I did get a little nervous when I was putting this in here because I realized that the top of this is going to barely get the sun. You can see how it's underneath I have a cafe curtain here, and it sticks out quite far. So I'm hoping this is close enough because the base of the lamp won't allow me to get it in any further. And those of you that raise string of pearls, you know how important it is to get that sunlight on the top of that base where the plant grows from. Now you can get new strands down the length of these. If you cut them, wherever you cut these, they will branch out. So you can make them full if you want to. I prefer to have them hanging straight down, and I don't like to have the one long strand with a bunch of like 4 or 5 branches off of the end. So I don't care for that look. So I don't ever do that. But anyway, okay. So it's been a wild morning for me. I'm going to go and sit at my desk and get this edited and get it up for you so you all can see what I've been working on, and that'll be it. That will be it for today. Okay. And next to it is one of my lipstick plants, and then my Meekins, but that's very temporary. I want to bring my Meekins into the living room where I can be with her and watch her grow and keep a close eye on her. So, all right. Well, you all have a great day. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me if you like it or if you think it's kind of weird looking. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend if I don't talk to you before next week. There is a very good possibility that I may be bringing another video to you before then, but if not, then you all have a good weekend. And enjoy your day. Okay. Bye now.